Well, hello, everybody. My name is Jim Ditto, and I have been working with young people here in the Midwest, and it's my pleasure to make some introductions about youth civic engagement. The people I will introduce will explain their role in the development of young people in their communities and how they themselves took part in the process of working actually with mayor's youth councils and youth civic engagement councils to make a difference. The idea behind it is to get young people to have a voice in their community and not just to be told what to do and be quiet. So we know that you have a lot of very good ideas and are going to be the leaders of today, and particularly in these challenging times. And I have very great faith in you. A little bit of background: I have 10 grandkids, and I know how viable they are. But more importantly, as importantly, I should say, I'm working with young people who are making a difference. The effort that they're making is involved in research of community issues and the communications of those issues and reaching out to people of all different backgrounds and ages, as well as working on logistical setup of meetings and then actually facilitating meetings and getting ideas leading toward an action plan to accomplish things within the community. The first person we have lined up to speak is Mayor Richard Hickman from the community of Angola, Indiana. Mayor Hickman has been up there for quite a long time as the mayor, and I think that says a lot for you, Mayor Hickman. The people have reelected you, and they're proud of what you've done. So if you would give a little background about your youth council there in Angola, we'll be fortunate to hear from you.
Thank you, Jim. Yeah, I've been mayor up here for 20 years. It's been an interesting ride, but over those 20 years and even before that, there would always be groups get together saying, okay, what can we do to help keep our youth here? What can we do to increase the quality of life, not just for our older people here, but for our younger people? We kept talking and going through, and we get to a certain point that would just kind of go away. Well, Jim came to me with this idea about the Mayor's Youth Council, and I go, oh yeah, there's a novel thought. Maybe we ought to ask the youth what they see that we could use in our community, plus get them to be involved a little bit in the governmental process to understand just what all goes on in our city government. And I was blessed, just finished our 4th year. In fact, Sunday we'll be handing out certificates to our seniors that graduated for their service to our community. But the ideas, the enthusiasm from these young people is just amazing. And I've said many times that I get more, or they get more, out of an hour's meeting with the youth, because it is boom, 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 boom. And then with adults, it's just a lot of rambling and so on and so forth. And it's been refreshing for me to work with these young people, basically stay out of the way, because my thought was, this is your youth council. You lead it the direction you want. I'm not going to lead you. I'm going to be there to support you. And we have some other adults who are there to support if needed. Haven't needed as much so far. Gabriella was instrumental in our youth council and getting it where it's at today. She actually ended up as vice president of our youth council the last couple of years. Has done a great job, and I don't know where you're going to go from here, but I think Gabriella would be best to tell the story of our youth council in Steuben County, the diversity of it, as well as the enthusiasm these young people have.
That's right. Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, that was a good introduction to Gabriella McHugh, who was I think the first vice president. Council up there. Annie Delgadillo was the Honor Society. Gabby, are you there and ready to make comments about your participation and what it's meant to you?
Yeah, of course. So my name's Gabby. I was the vice president for the initial first 2 years of Mayor's Youth Council in Angola. When the idea was first presented at the high school that there was going to be a Mayor's Youth Council, I jumped at the idea. I thought it was a great idea to get students involved in city legislation and just ideas, how the students of the community could really voice their opinions. because a lot of times it's the adults saying, oh, this is happening and this is happening, and the students are like, okay, yeah, sure, I guess, with no real input at all. And the just the idea that we now had a voice and the adults wanted to hear what we had to say was just, it spoke volumes for the movements that our city was trying to make in getting us involved. So that's kind of how it started. I'm now 2 years removed from high school, so I haven't really been a part of Mayor's Youth Council for the past 2 years, but they have done a lot of amazing things, and we did a lot of amazing things when I was the vice president. Annie and I went to a lot of conferences together, which were amazing. We went to the LEAD conference, which was a conference compiled of students from all over the country with similar organizations that they were doing in their own communities. And it was just amazing to go there and listen to their ideas and what they were starting in their own communities, to see how much impact the younger generation was having without, like, they had the support of the adults, but it was student drove. And just seeing all that everyone could do, like, even though we were so young, we were making strides that a lot of adults were hitting roadblocks at. And so that was one of the amazing things about the LEAD conference that Annie and I went to. We started a couple task force in our own community. We had our drug task force, which we had different people of our council head on that, where they went to different meetings about the drug crisis in the United States and even in Indiana specifically, and how we could combat that with the youthful impact. We also had a sort of sport, it was in the workings as Annie and I were graduating, but it was a city Get Fit initiative where we were partnering with our local hospital and the local Bowen Center on how to get our city more active and more fit by providing different resources that everyone could use. So those are just some of the things that our council is trying to do. Haven't had much contact with them just because college is a busy whirlwind for me, because I've moved a couple states away for that. But I've heard they've been doing really amazing things, and I'd love to see where it can continue in the future.
And Jim, I rest my case. This is not the exception to the rule. This is what our youth council is made of right down the line. Just enthusiastic young people with great ideas, and they don't understand, no, you can't do that because of what happened sometime in the past. Is how do we make this work? And they do make it work. Gabby, it's great seeing you. It has been a while.
Yeah.
You're looking great.
Thank you.
It seems like Jim might have frozen on his end just for a second here. So I'll go ahead and step in. I'm Jen Liss. I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio. I'm a health teacher and assistant athletic director, and I'm in the beginning stages of creating a youth council. Our youth council came out of a interesting dynamic. We had just created basically a student council for the athletic department to try to increase leadership and create maybe a little bit more of a positive culture. And during that time, a story got on the news about us, and Jim and I got into contact, and we started trying to transition this from just an athletic department-wide leadership initiative to really a true youth council. And during that time, we've worked on leadership skill development, but also a community Get Fit project like Gabriella was talking about in their community. My group of students has engaged in meetings with the government, with the parents, with school officials to create a on-campus weight, like handicap accessible weight park and walking trail to help kind of improve the fitness level of our community. And this is coming into play a lot now with the current status, the virus, and how we can use this equipment safely as an alternative to a gym, but also as a preventative measure for the future. And my students have really taken that in stride and are using that data and reaching out to our community to have their voices be heard, which is something that in the past adults haven't been able to do. So it's just a nice, unique dynamic. And I'm super proud of what the work they do and how far it has really come from our initial idea of how about we teach them leadership skills to them teaching the community leadership skills, which is totally the opposite of what we thought was going to happen.
Well, thanks, Jen, and the mayor. Isaac, are you still there with us?
Yes, can you guys see me? Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Something happened with my Zoom, so I can't see videos in front of me, but I hope you guys can still see me.
And we can. Isaac, could you give a little background about you and your participation there in Frankfurt?
Yeah, definitely. I'll kind of just start from the beginning. My name is Isaac Chavez. I'm from Frankfurt, Indiana. This is also where I work. I was a student when the Mayor Chris McBarnes came to our high school, and he had the idea of starting the Mayor's Youth Council. I was a student. I was involved in everything like student council, student body, any kind of extracurricular activity. I was involved in baseball and football. And so it was definitely a great opportunity to get involved in something else. So I completely jumped on it and joined the Mayor's Youth Council with Chris McBarnes. Now, when we first started here in Frankfurt, we've kind of been in the same phase where we've had certain problems to tackle. Not necessarily problems, but ideas and projects that need to be created. And those are along the lines of quality of life, quality of place. So we experienced a downtown revitalization that began in 2012, the first year of our mayor's first year of his first term. And from there, we just chose to do projects that focus on the quality of life and place. In the last 7-8 years, we have completed projects that welcome you to our city. There's city gateway signs that say, "Welcome to the city of Frankfurt." We've created 2 inclusive murals, which is like where you get to like actually be active in the mural. You get to be a part of the picture, or it looks kind of like a real life. And then we've also allowed our students to actually go to city council meetings and see how local government works and how they're able to apply for grants, how they're able to fundraise money to do the things and the projects we want. And usually every year, city council sets a certain budget, and that's the amount of money we're allowed to work with and create our projects that go along the lines of bettering our quality of life and quality of place. I was in the first year of Mayor McBarnes' Mayor's Youth Council, and I went on to college. I studied political science and communications, played football at Manchester University. I actually took my senior year off last year to run for office and run for city council at large. Unfortunately, I lost, but I'm still well involved here in the city of Frankfurt. My former mayor and mentor, Chris McBarnes, he appointed me to a couple boards on the city of Frankfurt, and I just get to continue being involved. Now, what our students do, since I came back from Manchester, I have been a co-sponsor with our mayor for the Mayor's Youth Group. So the last 2-3 years, I've gotten to work with our kids, primarily focusing on bettering quality of life and quality of place. This year, COVID did kind of take a stink on us, and we weren't able to do the things we wanted to do because we were going to tackle our new ideas on the second half of the school year. So we actually didn't get to meet because of COVID. So it kind of put a pause onto new ideas that were about to be created. I know we're looking to finish one of our 4th entry into the city of Frankfurt, where we have completed every north, south, east, and west entrance that welcomes you with a giant, nice industrial welcome to the city of Frankfurt. Our students are actively engaged with our city council. They actually go to city council meetings because they have to vouch for the work they are doing. And that's a great opportunity for them to get involved. What our mayor does now, we have a new mayor. So I'm kind of teaching her the ropes of how our Mayor's Youth Council functions and what we do outside of not just our project, but we also do community service. We also do things within the school. We help partner with like student council, and we just help bring activities, help with like homecoming and stuff like that. So it's definitely a great way for students to get involved. It definitely teaches them a lot of skills that they can take into college, especially if they want to come back and be a leader just like as I did. And that's pretty much about me.
I think you're a perfect example of why we want to get the young people involved. And I think you might have an opportunity to run for political office in the future, and we certainly hope to include that.
Yes,
and
I'm an aspiring mayor, and I do plan on running for mayor here in this next election here in the city of Frankfort.
But you're also involved with the United Way and other organizations that within the community.
Yes,
so you
correct.
Frankfort as,
Since coming back from college and running for office, I've kind of just, one of my slogans is embracing opportunities. And I've embraced every single opportunity that's been thrown my way. Since coming back home, I've gotten involved with United Way, where I'm the industry spokesman. So anytime we receive any kind of donation or we're looking to put any kind of fundraiser and we're looking for help, I'll go out there and speak for United Way. I'm an assistant coordinator for Special Olympics. I also did study special education in school. So my primary work is with kids with disabilities and special needs. So I mentor kids and I tutor them, and we go have fun and play sports, which is when I brought up Special Olympics. And I coach football and baseball. I'm a mater here in Frankfort High School. So kind of wear a lot of hats in the community, and I'm happy to be involved as just as much as I am. And I'm also happy to meet you guys and be here as well.
You're typical you. And
I think can you guys hear me?
Yeah. I can hear you, Isaac.
Gabby and Annie and the other young people, some of the national fill in the blank conversation that's going on there. And I know you do too, Mayor Hickman, because you see the goodness in people's hearts at the local level like you and the young leaders within your community and the communities where I've good fortune to work.
Thank you, Jim.
I don't know if we've been joined by Andrew Forrester. Andrew, have you been able to get online? I don't think so. And I do want to mention to the people that would be viewing this, we had hoped to have Andrew Forrester.
Hey, Jim, I'm here.
Yeah, I can hear you.
He, as the mayor mentioned, are you there, Andrew? Hey, there you are. I'll let you do it yourself.
Yeah.
Great, thank you for joining us.
Hey, no problem. Happy to join. Hopefully, you guys can hear me. I'm using my headphones here in the office, but yeah, I'll just kind of give a summary. I was part of a mayor's youth council in high school and got to be a part of it in Madison, Indiana. The mayor at the time wanted to engage the youth, and that was exciting to me. I enjoyed having that opportunity to see why community was important and why it was important to be a part of what was happening, not just sit back and watch and see the adults at the time lead that discussion. So I joined the Mayor's Youth Council. It really led me to a love of my community. And after college, I went back to Madison and joined the mayor's staff. And I got to be a part of the staff there for 8 years, hopefully inspiring others to love the community and make it a better place. Tried to get a Mayor's Youth Council going back again there as well. And then actually have joined the governor's staff now here in Indianapolis. And so that I can say the Mayor's Youth Council helped me to find my passion for my community. It gave me an investment in the community and really has set me on the trajectory that I'm on. And so I've seen it from that perspective in my own life. But then as I talk with mayors around the state in my current role, I hear from mayors like Mayor Hickman, Mayor Spinner, about the importance of the youth councils in their communities, that it's giving youth a buy-in, it's giving them a voice. It's not just, well, this is what we think the youth want in our community, and so we're going to do this project, whatever it may be, that the youth want. It allows the youth to say, this is what we want in our community. And that's been really cool, and I know the mayors all really enjoy it. It gives great feedback, gives good buy-in for the youth, and as we're all concerned about the future of our youth staying in a community versus leaving, it gives people, just like you heard from Isaac, it gives them a buy-in to the community and say, this is where I want to be, and I want to make my community better going forward. And so I think that's important. That's kind of my perspective on it from both sides. As a part of it led me into my passion for my community, and then now seeing it in a professional role.
That's awesome, man.
Isaac, I do
Andrew?
want to throw in. I applaud you for jumping in and running and being part of the community like that. It's not easy, especially at a young age. I ran for mayor in Madison last year, and it's again, it didn't work out, but it was a great experience, and people see your passion for your community and the fact that you're doing it because you love the community. That's a great reward. So keep it up. I'm encouraged by stories like that.
Awesome, and hey, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Definitely is a crazy thing stepping into such a position when the eyes of the community are on you, and it's in your best interest to move the community forward. And that's just is what I do, and I'm here to stay in my community for a long time. And yes, definitely ran office at a young. I was only 21 when I ran for office, and then I'll be 24 next time I run for office. So it's definitely great that there's been a trend of the youth, next generation, wanting to get involved because we're preparing our leaders for not only tomorrow, but for the next generation to grow as well.
Do we lose Jim again?
I think we did.
I think we might be, but the story we keep hearing over and over is all of you that have been on the youth councils were extremely busy before that. You were busy in your community and you've kept on being busy. And, you know, our main thing, of course, is we want them to come back to our community, but if they don't come back, we want our youth to wherever they end up to become a part of the whatever community they're in and make it a better community. And I think if nothing else, that's one of the stories that comes out of the mayor's youth councils. No matter whether they stay at home or they make someplace else a home, they want to make that community better because they've been involved in mayor's youth councils.
Mayor, that's right. It reminds me of a quote that I heard somewhere along the line where it was like, what if we educate our students, we make them love the community, and then they leave the community? And the response to that was, what if we don't educate them, and what if they stay? So like whether you're getting the students engaged and they move on and they do something else in another community, it's good for whatever community they end up in. And so that's why it's important to go ahead and engage them.
I hope that we can expand beyond the target audience of the National Student Council Group, because the things that you all are saying are so positive. I'd like to see them on all the television news networks about what really is happening out there. Andrew, I'm very glad to have you here. We would have enjoyed having the governor, but he's a wonderful leader, but you had that experience. And I think what I heard you say is that this initiative has evolved into the students not being told what to do, but being asked what to do and what is their perspective. About it, and whether it is access to play or whether it's the challenges that the young people are going to face, whether it's the next round of COVID, security, they're getting prepared and they're ready for it. I am so optimistic about young people in the future. To add to the conversation before we wrap it up, anybody out there?
What was that, Jim?
Andrew, is it just you and me? That was Isaac. Anything else, Isaac, in closing?
No, just that we continue this energy, that we continue to show the next generation what they're capable of, because it definitely does bring students back home, or it gives them the skill set to take whatever they learn to their new homes and just go from there. It definitely creates a perspective of students coming up with the idea, trusting the process, sticking with the process, just so that your idea finally finds a solution and it actually gets put forth an effort to be completed. that's definitely what these students are learning. And that's definitely a great life skill to have, because once you're able to take on certain tasks, and you're able to conquer anything you put your mindset to. So it was definitely great hearing from all you.
Thank you very much. Jen List, are you still with us there?
Yep. And I would just add in, I'm super excited to hear from all of you guys, because we are in the very beginning phases. We are not at the mayor level yet. We're just a school-wide youth council, where we've transitioned from, being an athletic department to now being school district-wide. And we're hoping that that continues to grow. And we can get that traction to be part of to have a mayor's youth council with our new mayor. And your experiences are all great. And I can't wait to share this with my group so that they kind of see what this looks like in the long term, because, my group is 6 months in and got cut off by COVID. So I'm hoping that we can keep that energy that you guys have and really take that as we continue to progress outside of just our small group to the whole community.
Wonderful job down there, Jen. Thanks to your leadership and the leadership of your participants. They're outstanding. I'm really looking forward to seeing what they're going to be in their communities. Gabby, are you still with us? Or were you able to?
Yep, I'm still here. There's one thing, Jen, is it takes a while. Our council it took about a year for us to really get the ball rolling on some of our things. So always just stay optimistic, keep them going. I know that our council is a lot farther than when Annie and I started it about 2 years ago. So even though you guys are just starting up, you got to keep on pushing through and keep going. It takes a while, but it'll happen and change will happen.
Thank you all so very, very much. It's my pleasure. I've grown in my life and getting to know all of you. And for those of you that are watching this, take it to heart. You can make a difference within your communities. And there'll be some contact points that are following the conclusion of this. Mayor Hickman has graciously, as well as Jen List, graciously looking forward to receiving any messages that you have around the country. We'll go to them, and then there'll be follow-up to see how we might help you get involved with the development of the Youth Civic Engagement Council through the mayor's offices, and a lot of very good mayors out there in the country. And God bless America. God bless all of you for participating. Thanks, panel. Thanks, team, and continue making a difference.